Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. For this video, I'm super excited to finally share with you this beautiful Alice in Wonderland mini album I've made. And originally the plan was that in today's video I wouldn't just share this album with you, but also a second album. And the second album wasn't made by me, but by my beautiful craft friend Fräulein Fotofee, which is her German Instagram name, and I will of course make sure to link her in the description box. And the idea was that we would actually use the same collection. So this is the collection called Lost in Wonderland by Prima Marketing, and it's a beautiful collection. So we knew we each wanted to make an 8x8-inch mini album with this collection, and then other than that we didn't plan anything else. So we each used my interactive page style bundles. So if you don't know what the bundles are about, I will make sure to put a link in the description box, but it's basically a system where you can just mix and match interactive page styles in your album, and there are actually 50 different interactive page styles you could choose from. So we individually chose which page styles to use, and then we just went ahead and decorated our albums, and it was very fun to see at the end like what her album looks like, and for her what my album looks like, which elements we used and with which ideas we came up. So after her luckily filming her album for her Instagram account, she actually shipped it to me so that I could then film it and use it in this YouTube video. But unfortunately the package got lost, so it never arrived here at my address. So yeah, as she just texted me, it seems like the package is now lost in Wonderland. But we are still hopeful that we can find the package, because there's so much work in this album she made, and yeah, it's just so sad that it would get lost in the mail. So yeah, I will just link her Instagram in the description box down below. And as I just said, she made an album using this collection. It turned out super beautiful, so I would highly recommend you to check out her Instagram profile. She also does other like mini albums and cards, so you really want to have a look at her Instagram. And with that being said, I will just start to show you my album in all the details right now. And like always, I want to show you what the spine looks like first, and also what the back of the album looks like. And I actually also was going to use a different paper on the back cover. So I had the whole album made, but I didn't finish up the back cover because I waited for her package to arrive, because she had one 12x12-inch paper left, which I wanted to include on the back cover. And it would have actually been the same paper I ended up using here in 6x6 inches, but in 12x12 inches. So it was also included in the 12x12-inch paper pack, and I think it's a beautiful paper. I love the illustration on it. So I now ended up using it in the smaller size and backed it onto some red cardstock, which I still had in my stash. So as you will see, throughout the album, I used the Prima Marketing Lost in Wonderland collection, but I also included some more basic patterns as well as solid papers, because I just felt it needed a little bit to actually break down all the different images and patterns. Okay, so now that's what the album front cover looks like, and I'm super happy with the cover and how it turned out. I really love this little scene I created behind the acetate window frame here. So I just used some embellishments I got with the collection as well. So I got the embellishments, but there were also 12x12-inch sheets included in the paper collection kit, of which you could just fuzzy cut out these images as well. So that's what I used here. And then I added some enamel dots, and I added this image of Alice on the front. So I did a lot of paper fuzzy cutting, which I usually not do that much, but that's something I really challenged myself with this album. And then onto this scallop frame die cut, which I actually cut out using a die cut by Craftelier Basics. I also added this little chiplet embellishment saying, "Let me tell you a story." And that's exactly what I wanted to do with this album. So I really wanted to tell the story of Alice in Wonderland, and that's how I decorated this album. So as you will see, there is the story in this album. I used the images from the different parts of the stories and always made sure that they would be the theme for a double page. And that's what the album looks like once you've opened it up. So these are the first 2 pages. And even though I could place any of my 50 different interactive page styles on this first page here, so on the inside of the front cover, I actually always end up using my favorite page style, number 1. And it's a really great page style. So you have this pocket with a flap closure, and then inside of the pocket you could keep some photos or photo tags. And for this album especially, I also wanted to include some of my different interactive add-on styles. And for decorating the pocket, I actually used 2 papers which were not part of the collection. So as I said, I actually included a lot of different basic pattern papers as well as some solid cardstock to decorate this album. So I used this brown and red pattern papers here, and then I also added this large die cut from the collection with the mushrooms. And then inside of the pocket I also placed some interactive add-on styles. And the first one is this basic journaling or photo tag. So you could just place a photo on the back here in the size 3 by 4 inches, or you could use the back side of the tag for some journaling instead. And then this add-on style is a booklet, even though it looks like an envelope, and it comes with a Velcro closure, so you can just open it up and then flip it to the bottom, and you can place 2 4 by 6 inch photos in this little booklet. And then for the third add-on style, I included this little booklet with a tuck closure, so you can just untuck it and then you can open it up completely to add some more 4 by 6 inch photos. And then to decorate the second page, where I actually used my page style number 3, I included another journaling card in the size 4 by 6 inches. I backed it onto another scallop frame, and then I also added this die cut book piece on the bottom here on the page, and then one of the chipboard phrases as well. So these 2 pages are actually kind of the introduction to the story of Alice in Wonderland. So I have the phrase saying every adventure requires a first step on the left side, and then on the right side it's about books, and that's why I also wanted the book ephemera piece on the bottom here, and it says Wonderland on there because that's what the book is about. And then for the next 2 pages I kept the left page very simple, so I didn't add any interactive element on here. I just added this beautiful pattern paper with Alice sleeping on the clock here, and then on the right side I actually included an interactive page style. And then for the decoration I used another 2 journaling cards, and one of them I placed in the middle, so this is a 3 by 4 inch journaling card. And then from the other journaling card I actually just cut out "This is my dream" and then "I'll decide where to go from here." What I also did here, and that's something I will probably do in a lot of future albums, and I also did it throughout this album a couple of times, is that I actually used a circled scallop frame die cut, and I just placed a quarter of it in the corners of this page, and I really like the look of it. I think it looks so nice and just adds a little touch, and you could actually always include it in most of your pages or page styles. So these 2 pages are about Alice falling asleep, even though that might be a little bit out of order. So if you want to add the actual story, which you totally could, so what I would do probably is I would add the story, write it down, or have a book like maybe from which I cut out the pages or something, and you could just slide it into the basic pages and then read from the story as well. That would be an idea. But yeah, with these 2 pages, it's not really what the story is like, because in the story you don't know that she's just dreaming until the end of the story. Now on the next 2 pages, as you can see, it's all about the White Rabbit. And the page style I used here is my favorite page style, number 33. And this page style includes 2 tag pockets with tags inside, and you could actually use those tags to add some photos, or you could also use them for journaling. And then to decorate this page style, I just used some ephemera pieces as well as some cutouts from the journaling cards, which I again backed onto some scallop frame die cuts. And then to the second page, I just added this little tuck spot on the right side here. And for decorating, I use another embellishment from the collection with the head of the White Rabbit. And then I also included this chipboard phrase saying "follow me," because that's the storyline now in the story of Alice in Wonderland. So the White Rabbit wants Alice to follow it, and that will continue on the next 2 pages as well. And then I also included another Addon Style with a swing closure, so you can just swing it to the sides, and then you would be able to place some more 4x6 inch photos on these tags. Now the story continues with Alice going down the rabbit hole. So on the left side I included this beautiful paper with the mushrooms and the little rabbit hole in one of the mushrooms on the left. So other than that I left it completely simple, and then on the right side is where I actually included another interactive page style, which is my favorite page style, number 41. So this one is part of my second interactive mini album bundle. And to open up this page style, I used this clock as a swing feature, and it was also perfect because I could back it onto another one of my circle scallop frame die cuts. And it was such a great page style to actually include this beautiful illustration, which is a paper from the 6x6 inch paper pad, and I was able to include the whole paper on this page style. And then for the storyline, I also added this chipboard phrase saying "down the rabbit hole." Now for the next page style, I decided to include my favorite page style, number 4, which is a gatefold page, and it opens up with a magnet closure. And then again, for decorating the corners here, I used my circle scallop frame die cut, and then I just cut it into 4/4 and placed them into the corners, and also added some enamel dots to 2 of them. And then for the closure of this page style, I also used a scallop frame die cut, and then I cut out some circles from a journaling card, and I think it just matches perfectly. So that's now Alice falling into Wonderland. And then to the right page, I also included another tuck spot using a scallop frame or half of a scallop frame and decorating it with the same pattern paper I used on the left side. And then I also added these ephemera pieces here and some enamel dots, and I just wanted this side to also look like, yeah, like the things flying around while Alice is falling into Wonderland. And then on the bottom here, it also says before Alice got to Wonderland, she had to fall. And then I also added another Addon Style, which is actually one with a slide closure, which I really like because that's a closure type I didn't use that often in my albums. So I wanted to include it here, and I thought it's just perfect because you can actually pull on this tab here saying Wonderland, and that's how you bring Alice, or actually the feet of Alice, down, and then you would be able to open up this little booklet. And I have to say that I really like how these two pages turned out, because usually I won't include so many stickers or ephemera pieces in my album. I really like using them on the album cover, but not so much in my album, and that's something I really wanted to do with this album, and I'm looking forward to include them more in my future projects. Now the next two pages are all about the keyhole to Wonderland, so that's what I included here. And what I did here is I wanted to use my favorite page style number 7, which is a regular belly band, and then I fuzzy cut out the keyhole from one of the 4x6-inch journaling cards, and I just placed it to the middle of the belly band and added those enamel dots. I just wanted this to look like part of the door, so that's why I used this wooden pattern paper, which is again not from the collection but just a pattern paper I had in my stash. And then behind the belly band we have this Addon Style, which is another Addon Style with a belly band closure. So you can actually just slide down this belly band and then you would be able to open up this little booklet. Now to the right side, I again just decorated the corners by using quarters of a scalloped circle frame die cut, and then I also added the chipboard phrase saying Keyhole of Dreams and some mushrooms ephemera pieces behind the frame here. And this is a tuck spot, so I could include another Addon Style on here. And this Addon Style is one with a pocket closure, so you can just remove the photo mat and then you would be able to open up this Addon Style and place another photo inside. And the reason for me for using so many Addon styles is actually that this collection came with so many beautiful 4x6 and 3x4-inch journaling cards, which I really wanted to use. So yeah, that's why I actually used all those tuck spots to add another Addon style behind them. Next in the story, Alice is drinking the Drink Me bottle, which I actually placed an ephemera of in the right corner on the right page. And then to the left side, I added my favorite page style number 14 with a ribbon closure. And then for decorating, I luckily had these 3 ephemera pieces with Alice drinking the bottle, and 2 of them were from the collection kit and the 6x6-inch paper pad. So as I said before, they came with 1 sheet and cutter parts on it. And then the third one was actually included in the ephemera pack. So yeah, and they all came in different sizes, so I thought it matches perfectly to just align them and make it look like Alice is shrinking after she's drinking from the bottle. On the next 2 pages, I added all the illustrations related to the tea party. So I added another tuck spot to the left corner by using a circle scallop frame die cut, and then I also added the tea party chipboard embellishment on top, as well as these teapots behind the scallop frame. And then for the interactive page style, I chose my favorite page style number 10. Next, there are 2 pages for the Mad Hatter, so there is actually no illustration of the Mad Hatter in the collection, but these beautiful illustrations of the hats with the bows on them. So I really wanted to include them here, and what I did is one of the hats I used for a swing feature and my favorite page style number 11. And on the left side, which I wanted to keep simple, I just included another tuck spot at an Addon Style, which I show you in a minute. But for the pattern paper I used here, I actually struggled to find matching pattern papers I wanted to use. So what I did is I cut out these strips to actually match the stripes on the heads. So these strips in black are from the collection, from the black paper out of the collection kit, and then I used this white or gray paper which I had in my stash to actually cut out these other strips, and then I just layered them so that it looks like some stripe pattern papers. On the Addon Style, I was able to include this beautiful 4x6 inch journaling card with these illustration of the head again, but then also the teapots, and I really liked this card. So that's what I wanted to include here, and this is an Addon Style with a string closure, so you can just unwrap the string and then you would be able to open up this booklet. And once you open up the swing feature on the right side on the interactive page style number 11, you would be able to flip the right flap to the side, and then you can actually reveal 2 more pages which are kind of hidden behind this swing closure. So these 2 pages are the next 2 pages we will look at. So what I wanted to use on these 2 pages are all the illustration with the cards, and this is kind of like related to the Queen of Hearts, which also there is no illustration of her, but I really liked all those card illustrations as well as the chessboard here. So the page style I chose is my favorite page style number 15, and this is a page style which is especially great for smaller photos, so you could place 8 different 3x3 inch photos on this page style. Now we are on the last 2 pages on which I included my interactive page style number 20. And this is this beautiful page style with corner pockets and a 6x6 inch photo mat. And again, for the corner pockets, I used the quarters of a circled die cut. And then for the photo mat to decorate, I used another beautiful 6x6 inch paper from the paper pad. And this is the illustration with Alice again sleeping and actually laying on the mushrooms here. And then to kind of end the story, it says, "Oh, I have had such a curious dream," on the circle, which I just added to one of the corner pockets here. And then we have another interactive page style on the inside of the back cover, and this is my favorite page style, number 25. This is a waterfall page style with a ribbon closure. And with this waterfall page style, you can add a couple of 4x6 inch photos, but then you could also add smaller photos like 3x3 inch photos or 3x4 inch photos to the flaps with the pattern paper on it. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed watching this project share. And if you did, I would love to get your feedback in the comments down below, and also leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and then I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!